It is not a new game. They do have a new league going on. As you can see, there's a standard league, which is the default game mode. There is the harvest mode, which allows you to cultivate the sacred grove and grow monsters that yield powerful crafting results when slain. This is the default path of Exile League. I would think the standard league would be the default one, but apparently not. And then there's a hardcore league, which is if you die, you become a standard character. So we're going to do the harvest one. The harvest league, so we'll have access to the sacred grove. Why are we looking at this? It's not a new game. The Harvest League is new. It's a new game to me. It is a free-to-play game, and you can get it from Steam. So this game is costs you nothing to play. It's huge. Hundreds and possibly thousands of hours can be spent playing this game, and it costs nothing. So that's a pretty strong. I mean, we have a whole playlist here at the In a Core channel just for free-to-play games, because some of them are cool, some of them are massive, but we keep bringing them to you because, well, that's one of the things we like to do. We like to show you some of the possibilities that exist out there for cheap. I mean, we can't get much cheaper than free. So anyway, we're going to take off. And now, this is not a new game for me. I do play this game, have played it for a while. Friends of mine and I play together online. So you can play this game solo, or you can play it with friends. We're going to play through, probably most of the playthrough that we'll have on the channel will be solo. Although my friend John Bearclaw does play, so it could be that maybe one or two times we'll jump into those characters and bring you a session of double gameplay. It's not much different though, truly. And I think that's about it. I guess we'll just go ahead and get started. And yes, I'm going to make a character. I have not played a Templar. Oh, I guess in case you've never seen this game, there are 6 character types, and then there's a third character type that you can get, that you can open up later on by going through the game. But we have a witch, which is a caster class, and from what I can read, is probably the best class to play as a newbie. A duelist, which is the interesting thing about all of these characters is that you can play them lots of different ways. Each one of the characters has 3 ascendancy types. So if you're really interested in playing this game, my suggestion is to go find a website that shows you, like the wiki, that shows you the ascendancies. Like like my friend John Bearclaw loves to play pet classes, and he loves to be a necro. And so a witch in this game can be a necro. So that's his main character is a witch, because she could be a necro. And I don't know the ascendancies I don't know what they are, but they're still sort of archetypical, right? We have a caster, we have this would be a duelist, which is sort of can be a tank. That's the way I play them, as a tank. They probably can be a what? A DPS, I get a dual wielding DPS character potentially, probably. I don't have one like that, but I'm assuming you can. This is a ranger. Rangers actually can have pets. I think they can have I'm pretty sure they can have a pet. I'm not 100% sure about that, but they have the ability to, fire from a distance and use bows. This is the what? The Marauder. Okay. Talk to us. Okay. Are you done? No. Finally. Okay. So basically, for me, I think of this guy and this guy as basically this is the tank and this is the berserker, marauder. This is a person who can wear heavy, very strong, wears heavy armor, but uses two-handed weapons. This guy is also uses strength as his main thing, but he can anyway use shield in one hand. He can use two-handed as well. But if you're going to go with two-handed DPS damaging builds, this would be the guy to go with. And then if you're going to tank, this would be the guy to go with. And then we have your rogue. This is the rogue character. Now the scout or the bowman here can also be stealthy. But this is your rogue character, a dagger wielding, backstabbing rogue character. And then you have the Templar, which will be, I think this character, the witch, is the healer. Or you can spec them as a healer, I think. And you can also spec them as a mage, basically an elemental mage, a cold mage or a fire mage or lightning mage. This is the Templar, which is to me more along the lines of Paladin type. Now, if you've played Path of Exile and you've been playing for a long time, you're probably laughing right now, going, "You got it completely wrong." Yeah, I'm just telling you what my impression of these characters is. There's a lot of ways to build them. You'll see that probably as we get into the game. You'll come to understand why there is no real set build. Anyway, we'll get into more of that later. But this character, I think, can be like a paladin, can be both a heavy armor wearing warrior that has the ability to cast spells, and those are shamans and paladins, normal Dungeons and Dragons type, World of Warcraft type characters. He's got that. He's a casting meleeer. So this is a melee. This is a ranged, and this is a ranged. So 2 ranged characters, 4 melee characters. And I've played some of these. My highest level is a witch and a duelist. These are my 2 highest level characters. So, having never played a Templar all the way,
and is that not the greatest folly of all? To lose faith when it's all you have left? You were once the chosen of God, a Templar. You are now the chosen of Recklast, Exile.
okay. Name? Dracanis. Gotta see if, oh, hey, it was a good name. If it wasn't a good name, it would say, oh, that's name's not available or already taken or something. It would tell you, you can't use that. Okay, so here we are. We're just washed up on the shores of Wireclest, the new land as an exile. And so we have to wake up. I'll turn my volumes back off. This is the volume of the game that you can still hear, but I've turned it off so that I don't. It's not so loud to me. But the problem with that is that if they do start talking in the game, sometimes I will talk over them because I don't actually know that they're actually talking because I'm not listening to the game while you guys are. Anyway, this is the first weapon. Left click to talk to non-player characters. Talk to the exile. This is a dying exile. Okay, so we'll go over here and talk to him. You're not a minute to shore alive anyway. Looks like you found something you can defend yourself with. Good. This place is crawling with criminals. There's smoke rising just east of here. East. Could be worth checking if there's... And he's attacked. And we have to fight. And what we get for that is a gem. So now we press our I to view our inventory. And we've gotten a skill gem. Skill gems grant powerful skills when they are socketed in your weapons and armor. To socket the skill gem, first click it, pick it up, then click on the socket of your weapon that has the same color. Pick it up, drop it in your weapon. Now, what you see is that we've gotten a skill. This skill is now equipped on your skill bar and can be used with right click. True. Hits an enemy converting some of your physical damage to cold damage. If an enemy is frozen and is on less than 1/3 life, they will shatter when hit by glacial hammer. Striking 3 times in a row, the third strike will freeze enemies more easily. Requires a mace, scepter, or staff. Okay, that's cool. We have life flasks, blah blah blah. Okay. However, I don't really... I think what I want to do is use this all the time. And then if we run out of mana, or when we run out of mana, we'll use our right mouse button to... Okay, that's cool. You control where you're going by left clicking. So you can left click once and you'll walk there. Or you can hold your left mouse button down and you'll run in whatever direction the arrow, if I pull over here, go down, etc. and so on. So this is how you run most of the time, just by holding your left mouse button down. And you can also hold your left mouse button down on the mobs and you will continuously attack them. And I'm not doing my, let's see. Let's see, you're supposed to drink a potion. That was part of it, and then we'll drink some mana as well. And that's about all there is to it. We'll eventually get many, many more skills. And loot is a big thing, right? You want to get loot so that you can attain better stats, because loot, the armor and stuff, and we'll see that in a minute, but it gives you better stats, helps you live longer, kill faster, etc. and so on. Just like any, I mean, there's not, now you certainly see, that's the problem with okay, so you can, but you can also get a lot closer. See, we can do it from here. The problem is this really reduces your range of view, right? So now I can't really tell what's going on around me very well. not like this, not like when I'm out here, right? When I'm out here, I can really see a lot further away and know what things are coming after me, right? Okay, so we got an iron hat, and we put it on. See, immediately put it on. So that's pretty cool. Hey, we killed both of them, but you see that I'm now wearing an iron hat, right? That's cool. And you notice your mana comes back, right? See how you regen mana? But we don't regen health. Not automatically. You can do things to make yourself regen health, but just right out of the bat with no changes or nothing, you regen mana, so that's good. Now we've gotten our second gem. That's awesome. I guess we have to actually loot it. And it says support gems change the power behavior, mana skills, blah blah blah. So we have a glacial hammer which hits enemies, converting some of your physical damage to cold damage. And then what we have here is we have elemental proliferation support. This is a cold, fire, lightning support gem, and it's an AoE. Supports any skill that hits enemies or could otherwise apply elemental ailments. It has a 20% chance to freeze, shock, and ignite. Elemental elements caused by supported skills spread to other enemies in a radius of 12. So this, not only does it increase your chance to freeze, shock, or ignite, it also spreads your skill to other things. So it gives you an AoE, right? But you'll notice that it also came up and said, hey, it sometimes increases your mana or changes your mana, and this does. It actually has a 110% mana multiplier, which I assume means that mana cost of 5 and 110%, so that would be like 5.5. So that's neither here nor there. That's not much. It could be something you need to be aware of, though. So, all right. Not seeing the AoE jumping to other people. Thought we were supposed to be getting an AoE, but I'm sure not seeing it. He did freeze, so that was cool. Okay, so we've leveled up. So you have gained a skill point. Click here or press P to use your skill point. Cool, so we'll click there. And now we see, let me get a good view for you. So that's scrolled back. So here is the skill tree. Wow, it's overpowering, right? It really is. So you'll notice that the Templar starts right here. That's cool. I think I'm playing a duelist, and the duelist starts right here, if I remember correctly, which yeah, that's where the duelist starts. So each one of these places is a place where one of the characters starts, and there's 6 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I mentioned to you that there is a ho 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 ho. Something is killing me. Why did he even come around? Normally he doesn't attack you like when I'm that far away. Now he has a sword. And I want to get away from him because I would love to use my skill. I mean, I was right in the middle of showing you the skill tree. So we got to decide mana regen and life or damage and mana. So we're going to build a paladin. So paladins have a lot of health. So we're going to go here. And so that gives us even more health, but it also increased our mana regen too, which was already going, but you'll notice I'm using the health potions and my mana potions to tank through his damage that he was doing to me. And we get a whole bunch of stuff for it, so that's cool. Yeah, and I'm just picking it all up, and then we'll look at it. And so these things that are unidentified, you see you have these scroll of wisdoms, and they identify items. So you say, oh, well, you just use them. Yeah, but the problem is that we don't have the gems. We don't have 2 red in it. I mean, right now we've got this one fitted out fine. If we change to something else like this one, then we don't have any of these. I mean, we do have these gems, but you'll see this little connecting bridge between these. That means that these 2 slots are connected. So if you put an attack gem in one and a support gem in the other, they will support each other. But you notice that this does not have the little connectors. So if you put them in here, this will actually have 3 attack gems. Support gems will do you no good in this one. You could put a support gem here and an attack gem here, or vice versa, but this would have to be an attack gem. Here, all 3 of them, so you can... so this is an interesting situation because... So in the early game, what I like to do is I like to put 1 support gem and 2 attack gems. This gives you multiple attacks. Later on, when you've got so many slots, I'll swap it up. I'll put 1 attack gem and 2 support gems. That way it gives you only 1 here. Instead of having this 1 weapon, instead of giving you 2 skills, it only gives you 1 skill by having the skill in the middle, having the attack in the middle, but you get it uber skilled by supporting it with 2 support gems. You'll see more about what I'm talking about later. Armor of 19. Armor's 29. Let's waste because I'm not sure. This gets 31 to evasion, 8 to fire resistance, 7 increased stun and block recovery. So right now my evasion rating is 74. So now my evasion rating is 106, but I only reduce damage only 10%. So you only get 8% increased evasion, but you lose 14% in damage. So I think I got to go this way. So that was a waste. Was it a waste? Identified it, so it allowed me to pick. So I guess that's not a waste, but you have to be careful using these up because these are... Not only are they scroll of wisdoms that allow you to identify these items, but they're also currency, which allows you to buy things. And so you don't want to waste them. because you may want to use them to purchase stuff. So here is where we're going. Open the passive, spend your passive skill point. Didn't I already do that? I think I did that already. Open the skill, huh? Well, that's U? No. P. Thought we'd already spent it. Did we already spend it? We don't have any points. There are no points to spend. Huh. So I'm not sure why it's saying that. Don't really know. But it looks like we've... if you hit your M key, you can see your whole map, or not the whole map, but you can see a much greater amount of the map. Kind of helps you figure out where you need to go. And so here we go into our first settlement, Lion Eyes Watch. The towns, the encampments, the whatever you want to call them, this is where you will see other players. This is an online game. Blah 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 blah. Why the people were. And so here we have, you see the quests, right? There's 4 quests. And here is a waypoint, which allows you to travel around. Okay. And here's your bank, right? You have a bank. Now, whoa, look at all this stuff. Yeah, that's because your stash is shared between all your characters. So all of your characters share the stash. So this is stuff that my other character has accumulated. My other characters have accumulated. So, you know, I get to benefit. It's cool, huh? And so we'll need to talk to these people. I know you, the blasphemer. That's what my father called you. God saw fit to drown my father and everyone else I ever loved. I wonder what fate he has in store for you. I'm Nessa, and I suppose I should thank you for ridding us of Hillock, that putrid giant you felled out there. You know, back in Oriath, I was taught that God loved me. He has a funny way of showing his love, doesn't he, Templar? Lion's Eye Watch isn't much, but it's ours. We could use you here while you live, but should you wish to venture out, do just one thing for me. Out on the coast, amongst the wrecks, there must be a ship's medicine chest. I have many to care for, and there's only so much I can do with the herbs and seawater. Okay, and so what we get is a mission, mercy mission, which, of course, the first thing to do is talk to Bestel. And here's Bestel. So let's do that. A tyrannical Templar to be tested and tempered in the straits of Rareclast. That's the first line of the poem I'm writing about you, Exile. Easy, mate. You could damn a bloke with a look like that. The name's Bestel, captain of the good ship Marygull. Alas, my Marygull is gone. My crew is gone. But my wits remain, after a fashion. There's an island, a hop, skip, and a wade offshore of the terraces. That's where my Marygull ran aground. Watched the locals spit roast the ship's doctor, but his medicine chest might still be there amongst the splinters and bones. It'd have everything Nessa might need. Dr. Shaky Hands Opden was lousy with a scalpel, and even worse with a saw, but he knew his apothecary. Explains the what? Blah, blah, blah. No. Well, I don't guess we're going to get to see it. Okay, here it is. Blah, blah, blah. But he knew it explains the shaky hands, if you ask me. Okay. And then we can talk to him about Nessa. Poor Nessa, not even a mother herself, and yet she cares for us all. And what a sickly, pathetic brood we are. May she live to have her own family, a real family. If anyone deserves that, Nessa does. Okay. Errol, the merry gull's cook, washed up on the rocks over yonder. Dead as a doornail he was. Buried him myself. Then a few days later, I see him on the beach. A little worse for wear, but upright, shuffling about. A land full of disturbing surprises, this rare class. Oh, zombies. Okay. Cool. So we have zombies. Here's the notice board. Come join my adventure. New player here. So I guess these are public parties. Guild. Friends. Okay. Don't really use those very much. Now, Navali. Navali is not here normally. If you're playing this for the very first time, Navali won't be here. You have to actually rescue her or find her out in the wilds. And then when you save her, then she comes back and begins to give you quests of a type. It is choice that carries you here, or is it fate? Is it choice that carries you here, or is it fate? I see a need in you. A need to peer into the future, a need to follow the right path. But your future has already been cast. So open your mind and embrace it. Long ago, my people called me a Hatungo, a wise woman. Now they call me a revenant. Oh, so she's dead. Oh, okay. But it is not my fate to return to the mother of death just yet. For now I stand with one foot in this world and the other foot in the realm of the dead. I am an inquirer of the living, an interpreter of death. I sense you have questions. For a gift of silver I will answer them, but you seek more than answers. Riches, power, these I can also provide, in a way. All you have to do is join me. Heed my words, but walk your path. The future is mine to tell, but yours to claim. It is time to fulfill your prophecy. Okay. See what she has to say. I traveled here through death's darkened halls, walking the paths of the remembered. I am but a memory of the woman I was, a memory treasured and sustained by Mother Death. Okay. Yama the White. I awoke in the halls of death with life I once led, little more than a dream. Yama the White, my furry companion, stood before me with the seeing stone he holds now. Both were given a hair of Hinakora's dark knowledge, but each serves a separate purpose. The seeing stone drags me deep into its core, where every instant into eternity is known all at once, like limitless rings on a tree trunk. Yama, like a torch in the mist, guides me back from the stone's infinite visions. So this is Yama, I guess, and that's the stone she's talking about. Hinekora, my mother of death, is not the only god. Exile, Karui are watched over by many. The Gyamhu lends us fire, which limits path to Wahoa, gives us the trees and birds, so that they may enjoy beauty. Tukohama provides us with weapons and knowledge, which lets us walk the path safely. And in the final days of the world, Kitava, whose hunger knows no bounds, will take it all away. Sure. Yeah, it's so much better to believe in one God, right? I mean, I shouldn't say that because I probably just offended somebody who believes in a pantheon of gods. So I apologize for that. On a purely not scientific, but just a purely secular way of thinking, one God's a whole lot simpler than multiple gods. Yes? I don't have view your prophecies. I have no prophecies. Challenges bestiary. Oh, so apparently this is also a count, right? Because um, it appears that the things that I've gotten in my other account are still being shown here. Okay. Achievements, challenges, blah, blah, blah. And finally, we come to Tarkley, who is going to give us a reward. Fine work with Hillock. Where'd you learn to fight like that? No, forget I asked. We exiles have no history. Dominus took it from us when he had his blackguards dump us in the water out there. Here, got something for you. Should help you kill a few more of these undead bastards. No, don't bother thanking me. The way I figure it, the longer we fighters live... What? And I apologize for that profanity. That's just reading it. I don't normally like to have that, so... Okay, let's see here. So, I've got to pick a new gem. Skill gems should be placed in sockets of the appropriate color to grant you skills. Right-click a gem to remove it from a socket. Okay. Smite performs a melee attack and causes lightning to strike a targeted location or nearby enemy, dealing damage in an area. If the melee strike hits a target, that enemy cannot also be hit by the area damage. If this skill hits an enemy, you gain an aura buff, granting you and your allies additional lightning damage for a duration. Requires a sword, axe, mace, scepter, staff, or unarmed. Frostbolt, magma ore, lightning tendrils. While you channel this skill, it releases pulses of electrical energy, dealing lightning damage in a semicircular area in front of you. Maybe. Molten Strike. Infuse your weapon with molten energies to attack with physical and fire damage. This attack causes balls of molten magma to launch forth from the enemies you hit, divided amongst all enemies hit by the strike. These will explode, causing AoE attack damage to enemies where they land. Purifying Flame. A wave of divine fire deals damage in a line, then creates concentrated ground and deals damage in the area around the targeted location. A larger shockwave then expands outward, damaging enemies standing on consecrated ground that were not already hit. That sounds awfully complicated to use. Channel spell. I really want a melee. Lightning. I think I'm gonna... That sounds so complicated to use. Then creates consecrated and deals damage in an area around the targeted location. A larger shockwave then expands outward, damaging enemies standing on consecrated ground that were not already hit. Molten Strike. Channeled spell. I mean, this is a... It will have to cast. Dealing cold damage. Tough decision. Smite. Purifying Flame. Let's go with Molten Strike. Funded by Marcus Lani as a supply station for his campaigns against the Karui, and in its day, lines I watched could be defended by just a small garrison of well-armed legionnaires. What have I got? A handful of starving criminals with driftwood clubs and rusted hatchets. The Eternal Empire has some right nasty leftovers. Whether it's something in the air or in the water, no one stays dead here. Not the first time. It can take a while, but sooner or later corpses wake up and go looking for breakfast. That hat Bessel wears, saw him pluck it from a real captain's head right before the cannibals barbecued the poor bastard. Waste not, want not, I suppose. Yes, Bessel's got a gift for telling tales, but I've never called him a liar. The truth's always in there, you just have to listen for it. Ness is the one that keeps the rest of us from losing our minds. To be honest, when she first arrived, I didn't think she'd survive more than a day. Two at most. She's been proving me wrong every dawn since. Seeing that the fairest flowers bloom in the foulest places, he was bloody well right. There again, profanities. Why? I guess if you were exiled to an island, maybe you would. See, many in exile pass through lines iron more than to simply pass on their letters and keep track of. Remember, I might want to forget us, but I'll be danged if I will. Okay. So, now, so I noticed that Nessa has something to say. Tarkley is as good a man as you can find on this coast. He has some wrongs to right, no doubt what they are. I've never asked and never will. If not for him, we'd all be dead. The Merry Gull ran aground on the tidal island trying to escape from pirates. As tends to happen, her crew met a far worse fate, cannibals. Tarkley pulled Bestel from some hideaway in the wreckage, the ship's only survivor. Whether the ordeal fractured his mind or whether it was just his nature along, it's clear that Bestel sells a different course to the rest of us. Now, we had some stuff we can purchase items. See, she has items for sale. She also sells gems. And we can also sell things. So at this point, I don't think I want any of these. And she gives you currency. It's like, that's currency? Yeah, actually it is. Well, how can that be currency? Well, if you look, when you go to purchase things, look, 2 scrolls of wisdom, an orb of transmutation, scroll of wisdoms, orb of chance. So these are the, it's more of a barter, kind of a barter system here, right? Although I guess these things would be considered currency. I mean, other than the fact that they have some type of use, right? So they're usable, but they also can be used to barter things. So, let's see. Did we sell everything? We did. Okay. So, gonna slot this gem. The only place I can. And then we'll go to the stash and we'll add this stuff to it. And then what's next? Well, we can look at our quests. Here are the things that we've completed. Now these are like you have rescued Navali, so that was not me, that was another character. That was not this Templar, that was another character. You've learned a sacred grove, again, not this character, not this character, not this character, not this character. Enemy at the gate was this character, but we have one other, and it shows where it is, and it's there. And so what we have to do is go out there. And I don't want to talk to her, I just want to go out. Oh, what? Oh, little things quit spinning and the sound went away. That's because we're not playing anymore. Once again, I've run into a situation where, because of the interruptions and various things, I let the video get too big. So I had to divide it in half. And this is after I'd recorded it, so it's a little bit of editing that has to be done. Um, so what I will do is I'm going to end the video here and make this part 1, and then there will be a part 2 that's actually it's just one long video that's been cut in half, and you'll be able to tell that. But I wanted to tell you I appreciate you checking out this new game on the channel, Path of Exile, and I hope that you enjoyed this first half of this video. Please tune back in for the second half. It'll be coming along very quickly. If you did like it, please click the thumbs up symbol, which is the like button. Or if you didn't like it, click the unlike button or dislike button or whatever it's called. Leave me a comment. Let me know about your experiences with Path of Exile, or any comment that you have is fine. I do read those and will respond to some of them. I don't respond to haters, but I'll respond to people who are genuinely trying to help me in some way, or just commenting. I'm fine with all those things. Consider subscribing to the channel. Subscriptions are the currency of YouTube, and the more you have, the better off you are. I have very few. I would love to have more. So please do consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, I think you should find a place of worship where you feel both comfortable and welcome. Attend it regularly with an open heart and an open mind, and with an expectation of learning. And I believe that if you put the work in, that you can find that will be a rewarding and fulfilling experience. It certainly is for me, and I would love for you to have that same kind of experience. So I encourage you to do those things. Thank you so much for tuning in. I think that that's all we're going to do for now. Please tune back in for part 2. It's coming very soon. And I guess that's it for this time. Thanks. See ya.